Oh no.
You have defeated... You have impinged on my honor.
Oh,
Oi! Maybe you can help me. I think I got lost. I was trying to... Wait a second. You're the knight with the shovel.
Oh, indeed. I have
The knight with the shovel who has been menacing the village.
I assure you, I've done no such.
You gonna use that shovel to bury innocent people? Your reign of terror ends here, Shovel Knight.
Welcome to the arcade.
Relax, Stinko Man.
What are you doing? What is this place? Oh no, wait, I was actually thinking of Girl Jam for a second. I get those two mixed up a lot. Did you try to beat him with... Oh, you're switching through the items, I see.
Yep.
I forget if this character was one of the people who had won a... people who had participated in the Kickstarter and donated a certain amount. Like three of the special boss fights were from that. There might only be three, I don't remember.
This might have been one. I know that this is a character who shows up in Reaper Knight.
I thought all the bosses showed up in the different campaigns. Unless they changed that.
Well, he doesn't show up as a boss, he shows up as a character.
Oh, like an NPC?
In the story.
Oh! Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
I really need to finish this game. Like, I played this game when none of the I guess it's not DLC because it's all free.
Yeah, it's all extra games, too.
Yeah. I didn't try any of the other... I played a little bit of Spectre Knights.
That's the one, Spectre Knight.
I think the other one is King Knight?
They've got Alchemy Knight.
Oh, shoot. In the Explodatorium, it's... Alchemy Knight. Plague Knight?
Plague Knight, that's the one.
Yeah, Plague Knight, that's who it is. No, wait, I played as Plague Knight. I haven't played as Spectre Knight. Whatever. It's a good game. If you haven't played it, you should play it. If you have played, stop dying. More likely to get achievements that way.
Well, I only came in this way for a meal ticket, so as long as he leaves town, I'm good.
Maximum magic.
Oh, I thought that was a meal ticket.
You know what was a good platformer that I forgot to mention from a previous episode?
No.
Mystical Ninja Goemon for the N64.
Oh. I didn't really play the one for the N64 too much.
There were two of them. One was a 2D side-scroller.
Yeah?
And the other one was a 3D platformer.
Huh.
And what was great about it, I think it's because, maybe not when I played it the first time, but definitely when I played the second one. I think that was the beginning of knowing that I really liked anime. There's a part where there's like a full-blown transformation sequence where you get into the giant robot.
Yeah.
Which is like, it looks like Goemon, but it's like it's made up of a bunch of balls for the arms. Like it's very like lazy kind of. Well, it's the N64, so there's only so much it can push out.
Yeah.
And it's got like this whole transformation sequence with a song about like Plasma, like the character. And it's just like, it was just amazing. And then you do a sequence where you actually fight as the giant robot. And if you're good at it, which I wasn't at the time and I'm okay at now, you can do all these like really cool combos to beat up the enemy. And
wow,
it was great. The rest of the game was good too, because it had like a little bit of a story and some platforming, and wasn't super difficult. It was good. The second game I got really frustrated by, because it's like, hey, go to this place and wait for a bus to appear. And I'm like, oh, I've been there before, but then nothing I do makes the bus appear.
Oh.
I'm like, why? There's a spot on the map that I can't visit, and it's because this isn't working. Never figured out why. That one you could also play with 2 players. The first one was just entirely single player.
I only remember playing the SNES game very briefly, and not like it was just quite a standard beat 'em up, but the idea was that it was a beat 'em up. I never really got that into it.
It was very Japanese.
Yeah.
Which is probably why a lot of them haven't come to Virtual Console or been re-released or anything like that.
I'm pretty I don't remember...
The SNES one is available on the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
But the other ones are not, as far as I know.
Yeah. I don't remember
North America,
if this was a podcast host saying, why isn't Goemon on the Japanese SNES Mini? Or if it's that it actually is on the SNES Mini.
I don't know. That's another thing I'm never going to own, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, man.
I mean, pre-orders are available now. The weird thing about talking about
Are they available, though?
I don't know. Available in the sense that you can get one, or available in the sense that someone can get one?
More that.
Yeah, somebody, I think it's right now at the point where someone can get one.
Mm-hmm.
That someone's probably not me. Hey, it's the Trouble. It's weird. Your chalices are full.
Do I even have chalices?
You had them previously.
Okay, yeah. That would have been useful.
There are lots of occasions where both of those would have been useful.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, to be completely honest, if I really wanted an SNES Mini, I'd 3D print a cute little SNES case and buy a Raspberry Pi.
That would be alright.
Oh, we should do that sometime. Not that specifically. We should, like, either on stream or whatever, just play through a bunch of SNES games. Or play through, like, the Dragon Ball Z card battling RPG game. Did you...
I did play through that a little bit, but I don't think it was translated when I was playing through it. So I was just sort of hitting buttons and thinking, this card looks pretty cool. It's got to be something good.
Well, I think I think I played that ROM and the game was translated, but the cards were still in... Like, they just had the Japanese numbers and symbols and things like that. So it wasn't clear. You're like, oh, I've memorized that this symbol means it's a special attack.
Yeah.
You're like, how do I get him to do special beam can? Because, like, for some levels, it was required, right? You're Piccolo facing off against Raditz. And it's like, well, if you want to beat this, you need to use the special beam cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. It'd be also kind of neat to learn how to make free pro cards just for personal use. Oh, there you go. I think you can fall down. Ooh. Got some fanciness going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everything's so fluid.
Yeah.
This level's got a lot going on.
Yes. Appropriately, it has a lot of moving parts.
Fine. Yes, it does have a lot of moving parts.
I could tinker with that statement.
Oh yeah, we fight Tinker Knight in this level. I don't really understand these guys. They shoot gears that just spiral around. Also, the magicians that summon gears.
They're all works in progress, I guess.
I guess. What are those flying daggers? Like, what are you even?
Are they daggers or are they platforms?
No, they're not platforms.
Oh, yeah,
I could have told you that
pretty
part.
pretty.
Are they just like rocket-powered swords?
I guess.
That sounds like a thing that you would be all over.
As long as.
Womp womp.
Well, they're certainly all over me now. Because I'm dead.
Gotta stay away from Totoro, man. It's violent.
I should learn that lesson, but it's so hard, you know? So hard to stay away from Totoro.
So cuddly and deadly and murderous and fight Jason with it. Gear Gun, Robo Rats, Totoro, Gear Man, Jewelry Man, Mr. T, The A-Team. Even more perilous. Oh, well, I guess you figured that out.
Know a thing or two about my relics. Oh wait, I do know a thing or two about my relics. Oh, or I can just climb all the way up here. I don't know why I did not see that this ladder.
I didn't see it either,
higher.
so don't feel bad.
Okay. And fall to my doom, or not.
Oh, you can do this. Remember, ladders fall down.
Oh no! Whew.
Sorry, you fall down from ladders.
Yeah, I got the message.
Ooh, good timing. Oh. Was there ever a game you had to like train to that way we'll give you a new relic?
Okay.
Like a game you had to like train to play. Actually, never mind. You were training for the tournament.
I was.
Smash tournaments.
I was, yeah. Then I totally forgot my controller, and then it was like, oh man, this is gonna take all day, and
never works out. I don't think you need any of the relics, fortunately.
Yeah. Just make things a little bit easier.
Yes.
Yeah. But train for. Not really. I mean, as far, like, really, aside from that Smash Bros. Tournament, that probably would have been the first video game type contest I entered in a long time. Because I remember when I was a kid, back in the days of the SNES, there was some kind of contest to do with Star Fox that came to my town.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a little Star Fox competition at a grocery store of all places.
What? Also, this sucks.
Yeah. But it was a totally unofficial thing because they had, pretty sure anyway, they had the competition cart for Star Fox, where it's just sort of like an open field. Well, not quite an open field, but I think it's like somewhere in Corneria, and you just have to take out a bunch of enemies. I think it was on a timer, and whoever took out the most enemy planes won.
This was Star Fox for the Super Nintendo?
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, I'd entered that before I'd really even played Star Fox, so it was more like, oh man, video games, I am a small child in the 90s. This is something I do on my computery box or TV, and nobody around here really knows what I'm talking about. This is my jam, therefore I must be good at it. But I was not.
Your story checks out.
Right, phase lock at time.
Yeah, you should use that. Also, you can use your bullhorn to attack things that are not, like, reachable. Like the enemy that goes up above.
True, yeah.
Alright, well, that reminds me of something slightly not related to video games, but can probably get tied back there. We were... G had told us about this interesting anime survey.
Oh yeah, the Anime Origins story?
Yeah, which is a cool project. I don't know, I think it's animeorigins.com, run by... Oh my goodness. I think it's run by a person named Lauren Orsini. Anyway, I'll probably post to it in the description, I hope. Or it'll be somewhere on screen. You can't see our faces, so that's great. There's lots of places it could go. Could go at the center. Could go over that gear guy. Could go over that other gear guy. Could go anywhere. But, so a lot of the questions were like, how did you get into anime? You know, what were some of the fan activities you did when you started? Lots of really cool questions. I think it's a cool cause. But it reminded, some of the questions were, you know, how did you interact with other fans?
Yeah.
And when you were talking about, you know, I was a kid in the 90s, and I was like, how did you meet other people who played video games? It wasn't like you showed up at university one day, it's like, I like video games. Other people were like, me too.
Well, to be honest, living in Hanover for, you know, elementary school, high school, until I met you and G and Wes and the others, I didn't really have a huge. I guess Jamie was also a gamer. But it wasn't like a huge thing, you know. Like I got Ocarina of Time the year it came out, I want to say, and it wasn't until like 2 or 3 years later that other kids were starting to talk about it. So it just wasn't a big thing at the time. It didn't really get big until high school, and then it got even bigger at university, obviously, because you've got all these extra people. But like to start out, just really basic playing video games together in parents' basements.
Right, but like when somebody in that anime survey is like, how did that happen? I was like, I don't know, I guess I must have mentioned it at some point, and then you're a kid, so you just talk about things because you're not embarrassed by anything.
Yeah. You don't have any sense that like people will think you're weird because you like this little video box thing.
Yeah. That's why kids are awesome and adults suck.
What'd you say, T?
Kids rule
and adults drool? Speaking of the 90s?
Yes, Z. Yes, I would. Also, I think from a 90s episode of The Simpsons. No, but that was interesting because they asked that question when you were talking about games. Like, well, how did you meet other people who played games? And it's like, well, sounds like the same thing. You must have, like, for me, I might have been reading Nintendo Power in, like, elementary school or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Or it was like, hey, you're a kid, so it's like, we should just go over to my place and do stuff.
Yeah.
Which happens less and less as you get older.
Yeah.
But there was definitely this element, you need the gear thing to do that. Or
that's all right.
Or the helicopter thing.
That's okay. I'm just going to save my gold for other things.
I don't know, it was just surprising, because it's like, as children, it's so much... Oh, wow. Sorry. As children, it's so much easier to like meet people and express, you're gonna get crushed.
What? Really?
You just barely clipped it. Express our interest in things, but then as we get older, we have all these like societal expectations of how people should behave and things like that. I know that I've tried really hard, like when I'm at work, to be like, what are you doing this weekend? It's like, I'm on vacation. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm going to an anime I'm going to this. It's like, what's that? It's a convention. You might be able... if you go Invincible? That would have been really impressive if you pulled it off. Well, I try to bring it up that I'm doing all this nerdy stuff. Because there's no reason to be embarrassed.
No.
It's not like, I'm going to go murder some clowns this weekend.
I mean,
that's also illegal.
Yeah.
But, like, there's nothing objectionable about it. It's like, it's a lot of people who are really passionate. That's one of the things about the book that I've been reading, the Moe Manifesto. It's really interesting because I don't have a lot of experience knowing about, like, experiences as an otaku in Japan. Because all I've heard are, like, things from other sources. But it's a lot of talk of, like, what it means. I thought it was weird that people really love these characters, but the more I read about it, I'm like, this isn't that strange. They're just extremely, that was lucky, passionate.
Yeah.
Not in a harmful way, just in a way that, like, they're really interested in the characters and the world and things like that, and kind of, like, more, like, pseudo-curative, but still interesting.
Yeah.
Fandom. I don't know. That was interesting, as opposed to like being an adult in North American culture, where it's like, you like this stuff, it's weird, but if you like sports, it's fine.
Yeah. That kind of came up a little bit in a book I was reading lately by the name of Final Fantasy V by a well-known video games journalist named Chris Kohler.
Is that out?
It is out.
I mean,
I think it's up for pre-order now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's out yet.
That was the advanced copy you were reading?
Yeah, I was reading an advanced copy. I think it might be out, or it might be up for pre-order. Whatever, go to bossfightbooks.com. You can find it there.
This is the episode where we plug all the things.
Yeah, but in there, one of the things that he was talking about was being an otaku in the 90s when he was a kid, just growing up with, all these little sections in bookstores for manga and all these ROMs of games that never came to North America. He and the other people who were in that community just sort of took to calling themselves otaku because they, from whatever source, I'm not entirely clear on what it was, gleaned that that's like the Japanese word for fan.
Oh yeah, there was a story. Sorry, you continue your story and then I'll remember the thing that I was going to say.
Yeah. And then, at one point, when he goes to university, he chose a university that had a tight tie with a Japanese university in Tokyo or abroad. When he was over there, he met a bunch of people who like play video games and all this stuff, and he was like, "Oh, so you're like otaku?" And they just instantly froze and looked at him and were like, "No, you don't really use that word. Instead, you might want to call us like gamisuki, I think it was called."
Well, suki is like, so what's...
Suki is like... whatever,
game lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Gama...
Well, like...
I'm not sure what the...
Gemu.
Yeah.
Because that's just the phonetic.
Yeah.
Gemusuki.
Yeah. So it's just like...
Oh, I see. You can avoid that fight if you go up top.
And then there are also some parts in that book outlining how one of the first Japanese guests that I think Otaku-san had went back to Japan and sort of helped to normalize the term a little bit.
Oh, I mean, I don't know much about... Oh, shoot. Time to get really good really fast.
Don't worry. I'm on the job.
I don't know that you are. I don't know much about whether the term has or hasn't reached back to being an acceptable term. I know that when we were in university and growing up, that from what I remember reading in Anime USA or whatever the magazine was that still existed. Yeah. I think actually Anime USA still exists. I'm not sure. You know what? This is definitely an episode of
Did it become
Lack of
New
Facts.
Type or something?
Yeah, no, New Type's the one that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, the screen stopped. Phew.
At that time, it wasn't an acceptable term.
Yeah.
But maybe it's been adapted again. What I was reading from one of those... Oh my goodness. From one of those interviews was actually how the term came to be used. And it was, imagine that you're I'm taking the interview a bit out of context, but it's imagine you meet some people in Japan, has different standards, different expectations around how you communicate with people, right? There's different verb conjugations depending on the level of politeness.
Yes.
So, anata, you, is if I recall correctly, pretty informal. In the interview, it describes it as something that you might use with your spouse. It's that level of familiarity. And then there was a different word that was used that I hadn't ever seen, but I'm not super up on super up on my Japanese language because I haven't studied that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But so what word do you use you need a second person word to talk with somebody about something. And I guess otaku met that niche. It was interesting because the interview didn't even mention the small house thing. Apparently it has another usage outside of that. But I guess it was the only second party pronoun that was available that kind of worked given the level of unfamiliarity with the other speaker, which was neat because in English we're just you.
Yep.
Or if you forget people's names, you just awkwardly try to avoid using their name as much as possible until you remember or someone else brings it up.
Yep. Or I guess if you were feeling really confident, you could guess and make a joke out of it if you were wrong.
Oh, hey, what's your last name? It's sorry, it's I can't remember what your last name is. It's oh, okay. No, sorry, that's not the trick. It's what's your name again? It's oh, it's this. It's oh, no, sorry, I meant your last name. That was what it was. Oh, yeah. Cool, totally didn't forget your name.
Whew. Boy, oh boy. I love scrolling screen stages.
You're not going to like the final levels. They are... there's some scrolling. I had a hard time with it. Lots of moving platforms, scrolling, etc. Not a good time. Get some free turkey or chicken, I don't know what it is. Oh, excuse me, I'm very gassy. Yeah, reading. How many of the boss fight books have you read?
To date, I've read about 5, I think. Chrono Trigger, Baldur's Gate 2, Super Mario Land 2, Final Fantasy 5. And I read the little anthology of essays and short stories called Continue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, very gassy.
Man, regular Rick over here.
See a thing, Z. The thing about playing video games is it's more art than science. I mean, it definitely is more art than science.
As long as it's not weird science.
Have you seen that?
Actually, no.
Oh, you should check it out.
Yeah?
I think if it was produced today, it would be extremely uncomfortable. But I think that John Hughes manages to make something that's like okay. Mainly because, I don't know. It's a movie about... You should get the chicken first.
Yeah, good idea.
It's a movie about some kids who make a woman using, I don't know, magic, but not magic. It's science. I don't know, man. They do that, and they make a woman, and they're little teenagers. But it turns out that even though they made a woman, probably to do illicit things with, I don't know. It ends up they just make a woman who kind of teaches them how to be confident and stand up for themselves, which is endearing and could have gone way worse. I think if they made it today, it would be really gross and creepy.
Probably.
To be honest, it was a little bit creepy then. But it's almost like the kids are too young to make it... I don't know. Maybe that's just me accepting things that shouldn't be accepted. It was still a little creepy. Yeah! Oh no! This big bad boss, see? It's
No,
so
right?
awful.
All these wrenches.
How are you gonna beat this tiny little boss? I sure hope he doesn't have a second form.
Yep. Actually, I kind of wonder. This is the female Tinker Knight. I wonder if the mech will be different.
That's true! I only noticed now that she has horns. Or something.
I think they're pigtails.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Nope.
Nope, it's the exact same. I kind of like how they made like little variations to make them different.
Yeah.
This is definitely where I spammed the
face locket?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it's like, okay, I'll do this and then I'll pogo. Because each one of those does 2 hits. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, those internet memes.
Oh, I can still remember when I saw it on the internet. It's kind of surprising that the treads don't just crumple your body into little tin can knight.
I guess you're ever so slightly in front of it.
I guess that's true. You have to do some weird tricks in video games to make depth make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Z, just like suck it up because you're so close to beating the boss and so close to death as well. Just one hit. Just one hit. There you go.
Whew. Gotta add that element of suspense for the people watching at home.
Yeah. Sure, that's why that happens. Oh wait, that's a Final Fantasy theme.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Shovel Knight. Sleep tight. Pew pew. Alright, you know what?
Yeah.
We will, who we got left? Propeller Knight?
Yep, that's it. And then it's just the castle.
Cool. Well, we'll find it. We'll fly away to the night. Nope, I got nothing. We'll see you next episode of Fanthropological Arcade. Wait, what did you eat?
Look like a scorpion?
It did look like a scorpion, right?